Good morning, everyone. We will discuss today William Wordsworth, the great romantic poet. I am Rajni Veena, Assistant Professor, Government College, Rawatwata. Autobiographical work and poems in two volumes. William Wordsworth had for years been making plans to write a long philosophical poem in three parts, which he intended to call The Recluse. In 1798 to 99, he started an autobiographical poem which he referred to as the Poem to Coleridge, and which he planned would serve as an appendix to a larger work called The Recluse. In 1804, he began expanding this autobiographical work, having decided to make it a prologue rather than an appendix. He completed this work, now generally referred to as the first version of the Prelude, in 1805, but refused to publish such a personal work until he had completed the whole of the Recluse. The death of his brother John, also in 1805, affected him strongly and may have influenced his decisions about these work. This is Rydal Mount, home to Wordsworth, 1813 to 1850. Hundreds of visitors came here to see him over the years. Wordsworth's philosophical elegies are articulated in the Prelude and in such shorter works as lines written a few miles above Tintern Abbey have been a source of critical debate. It was long supposed that Wordsworth relied chiefly on Coleridge for philosophical guidance, but more recently scholars have suggested that Wordsworth's ideas may have been formed years before he and Coleridge became friends in the mid 1790s. In particular, while he was in revolutionary Paris in 1792, the 22-year-old Wordsworth made the acquaintance of the mysterious traveler John Walking Stewart, who was nearing the end of his 30 years of wandering on foot from Madras, India, through Persia and Arabia, across Africa and Europe, and up through the fledgling United States. By the time of their association, Stewart had published an ambitious work of original materialist philosophy entitled The Apocalypse of Nature, London 1791, to which many of the Wordsworth's philosophical sentiments may well be indebted. In 1807, Wordsworth published poems in two volumes, including Ode, Intimations of Immortality from Recollections of Early Childhood. Up to this point, Wordsworth was known only for lyrical ballads, and he hoped that this new collection would cement his reputation. Its reception was lukewarm. In 1810, Wordsworth and Coleridge were estranged over the latter's opium addiction, and 1812, his son Thomas died at the age of 6 months after the death of 3-year-old Catherine. The following year, he received an appointed as distributor of stamps for Westmoreland, and the stipend of $400 a year made him financially secure, albeit at the cost of political independence. In 1813, he and his family, including Dorothy, moved to Rydal Mount, Ambleside, between Grasmere and Rydal Water, where he spent the rest of his life. Prospectus. In 1814, Wordsworth published The Excursion, at the second part of the three-part work, The Recluse, even though he had not completed the first and third part and never did. He did write a poetic prospectus to the recluse in which he laid out the structure and intention of the whole work. The prospectus contains some of the Wordsworth's most famous lines on the relation between human mind and nature. Some modern critics suggest that there was a decline in his work beginning around the mid 1810s, perhaps because most of the concerns that characterized his early poems loss, death, endurance, separation, abandonment had been resolved in his writings and his life. By 1820, he was enjoying considerable success accompanying a reversal in on the contemporary critical opinion of his earlier work. Following the death of his friend the painter William Greene in 1823, Wordsworth also mentioned his relations with Coleridge. The two were fully reconciled by 1828 when they toured the Rhineland together. Dorothy suffered from a severe illness in 1829 that rendered her an invalid for the remainder of her life. But Coleridge and Charles Lamb both died in 1834, their loss being a difficult blow to Wordsworth. The following year saw the passing of James Hogg. Despite the death of many contemporaries, the popularity of his poetry ensures a steady stream of young friends and admirers to replace those he lost. Religious beliefs. Wordsworth's youthful political radicalism, unlike Coleridge, never led him to rebel against his religious upbringing. He remarked in 1812 that he was willing to shed his blood for the established Church of England, reflected in his ecclesiastical sketches of 1822. This religious conservatism also colors the excursion 1814, a long poem that became extremely popular during the 19th century. It features three central characters, the wanderer, the solitary, who has experienced the hopes and miseries of the French Revolution, and the pastor, who dominates the last third of the poem. Laureateship and other honors. Wordsworth remained a formidable presence in his later years. In 1837, the Scottish poet and playwright Joanna Baillie reflected on her long acquaintance with Wordsworth. He looks like a man that one must not speak to unless one has some sensible thing to say. However, he does occasionally converse cheerfully and well, and when one knows how benevolent and excellent he is, it disposes one to be very much pleased with him. In 1838, Wordsworth received an honorary doctorate in civil law from the University of Durham, and the following year he was awarded the same honorary degree by the University of Oxford when John Cavell praised him as the poet of humanity, praise greatly appreciated by Wordsworth. It had been argued that Wordsworth was a great influence on Cavell's immense popular book of devotional poetry, The Christian Year, 1827, and in 1842 the government awarded him a civil list pension of $300 a year. Following the death of Robert Southey in 1843, Wordsworth became poet laureate. He initially refused the honor, saying that he was too old, but accepted when the Prime Minister Robert Peel assured him that you shall have nothing required of you. Wordsworth thus became the only poet laureate to write no official verses. The sudden death of his daughter Dora in 1847 at the age of 42 was difficult for the aging poet to take, and in his depression he completely gave up writing new material. His death. Wordsworth died at home at Redall Mount from an aggravated case of pleurisy on 23rd April 1850 and was buried at St. Oswald's Church, Grasmere. His widow, Mary, published his lengthy autobiographical poem to Coleridge as the prelude several months after his death. Though it failed to interest people at the time, it has since come to be widely recognized as his masterpiece. This is Gravestone of William Wordsworth, Grasmere, Cumbria. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you once again.